Good afternoon, Swadikap. The television Pope Thailand brings you to the live transmission of the ceremony to convey the royal remains of Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati, กรมหลวงราชสารินีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา from Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, the Thai Red Cross Society, to the Grand Palace, to the Piman Rataya Throne Hall within the ground of the Grand Palace, Bangkok. For people in Thailand, you can watch this program narrated in English if your television set has a dual language system, or via the website prdwe.prd.go.th and the Facebook NBT World. My name is Captain Dr. Yongyut Mayalab, and I shall be the narrator in English language for this live telecast. The area surrounding King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, Thai Red Cross Society, prior to the royal funeral procession of Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati, กรมหลวงราชสารินีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา was filled with members of the public who gradually arrived and gathered along both sides of the route through which the royal funeral procession would pass from King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, Thai Red Cross Society to Piman Rataya Throne Hall. They came to pay their respects and to await the arrival of His Majesty the King, Her Majesty the Queen, and members of the royal family. Most of those waiting to witness the royal funeral procession were dressed in black. The atmosphere was one of profound sorrow and deep gratitude for Her Royal Highness' gracious benevolence. So you can see the route along which the procession of the royal remains of Her Royal Highness will proceed. And this is the aerial view of the Grand Palace and the temple of the Emerald Buddha on Wat Prasi Ratana Sasadaram. Most of those waiting to witness the royal funeral procession were dressed in black, and the atmosphere was one of profound sorrow and deep gratitude for Her Royal Highness' gracious benevolence. Some members of the public stated that they still found it difficult to come to terms with the loss. The royal funeral procession would depart from Gate 15 of the hospital, proceed along Ongri Dudong Road, turn right onto Rama 4 Road, turn right onto Payathai Road, turn left at Siyutiya intersection onto Siyutiya Road, continue along Rashadamnern Nok Road, Rashadamnern Klang Road, and Rashadamnern Nai Road, past Sanam Luang, and enter the Grand Palace through Witsit Chaisi Gate. According to the statement, the announcement by the Bureau of the Royal Household on the 12th of June 2026, Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati, กรมหลวงราชสารินีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา became unconscious due to a cardiac condition and was admitted for medical treatment at Chulalongkorn Hospital, the Thai Red Cross Society, on the 14th of December 2022. Since the 21st of May 2026, Her Royal Highness experienced a deterioration in her condition due to an infection in the abdominal cavity resulting from inflammation of the colon. Her blood pressure became low, her heart developed arrhythmia, and abnormalities occurred in the coagulation of her blood. Although the medical team extended treatment with their utmost care and to the fullest extent of their abilities, Her Royal Highness' condition progressively worsened. Subsequently, on Thursday, the 11th of June 2026, at 19:48 hours, Her Royal Highness passed away peacefully at Chulalongkorn Hospital, Thai Red Cross Society, at the age of 47. His Majesty the King has graciously commanded the Bureau of the Royal Household to arrange the funeral rites and render the highest royal honor in accordance with royal tradition. The remains will lie in state at Piman Rataya Throne Hall within the Grand Palace. Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati, กรมหลวงราชสารินีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา embodied grace, compassion, and unwavering service to her nation for decades. Today, Thailand mourns the loss of our beloved princess, whose life was devoted to service, justice, and compassion. Her Royal Highness was not only a distinguished legal scholar, diplomat, public servant, she was a source of hope for those whom society often overlook. Through her unwavering commitment to the rule of law, human dignity, and humanitarian service, she's touched countless lives and inspired positive change both within Thailand and across the international community. Whether working to improve the lives of women and children, supporting disaster relief efforts, advancing justice for the vulnerable, or creating opportunities for those seeking a second chance in life, Her Royal Highness always led with wisdom, courage, and kindness. The true measure of her legacy is found not in titles or honors, but in the lives she lifted, the hope she restored, and the dignity she bestowed upon others. Though Her Royal Highness has departed from this world, the light of her compassion and the example of her service will continue to guide generations to come. May Her Royal Highness rest in eternal peace, and may her memory forever remain in the hearts of the Thai people. Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati กรมหลวงราชสารินีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา was the eldest child of His Majesty King Chulalongkorn พระวชิรเกล้าเจ้าอยู่หัว or King Rama X. The princess was His Majesty's only daughter, born to Her Royal Highness Princess Somsawali กรมหมื่น สุทธินาถ former consort to the king. Her Royal Highness was the first grandchild of His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej the Great, or King Rama IX, and Her Majesty Queen Sirikit, the Queen Mother. She had only one younger sister, Her Royal Highness Princess Siriwanwari Narirat Rajaganya, and one younger brother, His Royal Highness Prince Tipankon Rasamishodh. Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Royal Motorcade has now arrived at the hospital. The Royal Motorcade of Their Majesties the King and Queen have now arrived at the hospital building too. Her Royal Highness had stayed in the hospital for medical treatment since the 15th of December 2022 after losing consciousness because of a heart condition. In April 2026, doctors detected an infection in the abdomen caused by inflammation of the large intestine. This made Her Royal Highness' condition unstable with low blood pressure and irregular heartbeat and abnormalities in blood clotting. Although the medical team provided treatment for Her Royal Highness to the best of its ability, Her Royal Highness' condition deteriorated and the princess passed away peacefully on the 11th of June 2026. Reflecting the deep ties between both royal families of the Kingdom of Thailand and the Kingdom of Bhutan, His Majesty King Jigme of Bhutan expressed his heartfelt condolences following the passing of Her Royal Highness. In his message, His Majesty conveyed that Their Majesties the King and Queen and the people of Bhutan were deeply saddened by the news of Her Royal Highness passing. He honored Princess Bajrakitiyabha as a remarkable and dedicated leader who devoted her life and tireless efforts to the advancement of her country and the well-being of the Thai people. This heartfelt tribute underscores the enduring bond between Bhutan and Thailand as both nations stand united in grief during this time of national mourning. International media reported the passing of Her Royal Highness, the eldest daughter of His Majesty the King, highlighting her distinguished contributions to law, diplomacy, and social development. Major international outlets, including Reuters, BBC, CNN, Deutsche Welle, The Guardian, and ABS-CBN, describe Her Royal Highness as a highly accomplished legal scholar, diplomat, and public servant. Reports noted her legal studies at Cornell University, her service as Thailand's ambassador to Austria, Slovenia, and Slovakia, her prominent role within the Thai royal family, and her long-standing work in promoting the rule of law, women's rights, and access to justice. International coverage also emphasized her humanitarian efforts, particularly her advocacy for female prisoners and vulnerable groups through initiatives developed in cooperation with the United Nations. Several reports highlighted her commitment to legal reform and social development, as well as her active participation in official duties and her representation of Thailand in international forums. Many reports remembered Her Royal Highness for her dedication to public service, honoring her contributions to law, diplomacy, humanitarian causes, and international cooperation. Her passing was widely described as a significant loss for Thailand, prompting reflection on a legacy of service that earned recognition both at home and abroad. Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati กรมหลวงสหราชสารินีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา was born on the 7th of December 1978. She is the eldest child of His Majesty the King and was born to Her Royal Highness Princess Somsawali Rummoon Suttanarinath. She is also the first grandchild of His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej the Great and Her Majesty Queen Sirikit the Queen Mother. Regarding education, she received the kindergarten, primary, and lower secondary education at Rajini School in Bangkok, upper secondary education at Heathfield School in England and Chitlada School. She obtained Bachelor of Laws degree from the Faculty of Law, Thammasat University in 2001 with second-class honors. Bachelor's degree in Political Science from Sukhothai Thammathirat Open University with first-class honors. Thai Barrister at Law, Institute of Legal Education of the Thai Bar under the Royal Patronage, academic year 2004. And Master of Laws, LLM, Cornell University, United States of America. Her Royal Highness was raised at Her Royal Highness Princess Somsawali Rummoon Suttanarinath was raised at Tewet Palace and brought up in a simple manner. Her father personally took her to and from school, and during her youth, she carried out household duties herself. She enjoyed handicrafts and developed skills in various crafts, including cooking. She prepared food on many occasions while visiting people affected by floods during activities of the Friends in Need of PA Volunteers Foundation, Thai Red Cross Society. Her Royal Highness Princess Somsawali Rummoon Suttanarinath, as a mother, she was deeply concerned for Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha, her only daughter. She once remarked, "I'm not overly protective, but I'm more concerned, particularly about conduct and deportment." She also taught that one should learn to help others. In addition to helping oneself, one must also help others. Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati กรมหลวงราชสารินีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา performed royal duties in various fields, including public welfare through Friends in Need of PA Volunteers Foundation, Thai Red Cross Society, and in the field of law, in which she possessed expertise. She also regularly undertook duties on behalf of the monarch. Furthermore, she worked at the Permanent Mission of Thailand to the United Nations in New York. Honors and distinctions included Outstanding Law Student Award in 2001, Medal of Recognition, Goodwill Ambassador. And with the foundations and organizations under her patronage include Friends in Need of Power Volunteers Foundation, Thai Red Cross Society, Kuman Foundation, Pramukut Glau Hospital, Napa Foundation under the initiative of Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Kamlangchai Project, Dog Lovers Network, and Bangkok Metropolitan Administration Dog Control Center in Pravet District. Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha, following the royal footsteps of His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej the Great, accompanied royal visits both within Thailand and abroad, accumulating experience and knowledge in the fields of law and international relations. She applied these to the performance of royal duties in assisting the people without ever becoming discouraged. Her distinguished achievements have been widely recognized and praised by the international community. Her major royal duties include work related to corrections and prisoners, Kamlangchai Project under Royal Initiative, assisting those who have made mistakes in their life by providing opportunities through vocational training programs in prisons and correctional institutions, enabling them to pursue occupations in the future, reducing repeat offenses, and helping them return to society as quality citizens. Development of sports skills. Her Royal Highness recognized the benefits of sports in the development of children and youth. She initiated the establishment of the BBC Sports Club within juvenile detention centers. She also initiated Rajathan Pansuk or Pansuk Corrections Project, doing good for nation, religion and monarchy. She served as the chairperson of the project to ensure that ill inmates have equal access to medical treatment in accordance with humanitarian principles. With regards to the promotion of international standards, Her Royal Highness played an important role in advancing the implementation of the Mandela Rules. This is the United Nations Standard Minimum Rules for the treatment of prisoners, and the Bangkok Rules, the United Nations Rules for the treatment of women prisoners, the central principle of which is non-discrimination. She served as chairperson of the Friends in Need of Power Volunteers Foundation, Thai Red Cross Society, and visited people affected by disasters in a timely manner. She emphasized rehabilitation, repair of damaged property, and provided assistance for expenses or lost livelihoods in order to encourage and support those affected. She also worked on elephant conservation. She continued the royal aspiration of His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej the Great, or King Rama IX, and Her Majesty Queen Sirikit, the Queen Mother, in the conservation and care of elephants. She established the Pachara Sutta Kachanurak project to care for elephants and created balance between people and elephants in the forest areas spanning 5 eastern provinces, namely Rayong, Chanthaburi, Chonburi, Chachoengsao, and Sakeo, with His Majesty the King graciously accepting the project under royal patronage and serving as chairman of the committee. Throughout her years of service, Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha remained committed to applying the knowledge and experience she gained both nationally and internationally to the development of the nation and its people. In doing so, she continued preserved and built upon the royal aspirations of His Majesty the King in relieving suffering and promoting the well-being of the people, truly earning the title of the Princess of the People. So you are now seeing the atmosphere around King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, Thai Red Cross Society, prior to the royal funeral processions of the royal remains of Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati กรมหลวงราชสารินีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา As for the event that about to take place here, His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen departed by royal motor vehicle accompanied by Her Royal Highness Princess Siriwanwari Narirat Rajaganya, His Royal Highness Prince Tipankon Rasmichod Mahawachirottamangul Sri Vibun Rajakuman. They departed from Ampon Satan Residential Hall, Dusit Palace, for the Phumi Siri Mangalanusorn Building, King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, Thai Red Cross Society, which is where we are now. Their Majesties, the King and Queen, have arrived a moment ago at the Phumi Siri Mangalanusorn Building. They proceeded to the 29th floor by lift, and then they will proceed to the reception room on the 29th floor. Then the process of transferring the royal remains of Her Royal Highness will begin. สมเด็จพระมหาวีรวงศ์สุชินอัคคชิโน Assistant Abbot of Wat Ratchabopit Sathit Mahasimaram will lead the procession conveying the royal remains from this building. The physicians and nurses who attended to the medical treatment will move the hospital bed bearing the royal remains into the lift. When the royal remains reach the ground floor of the Phumi Siri Mangalanusorn building, the physicians and nurses will transfer the hospital bed bearing the royal remains onto the royal vehicle, which will convey the royal remains to the Grand Palace. The royal vehicle has the license plate of 1 door 0929. The procession conveying the royal remains will then depart from King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, Thai Red Cross Society, for the Grand Palace. His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen will proceed to the royal motor vehicle and lead the royal vehicle conveying the royal remains from King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, Thai Red Cross Society, to the Grand Palace. Her Royal Highness Princess Siriwanwari Narirat Rajaganya and His Royal Highness Prince Tipankon Rasmichod Mahawachirottamangul Sri Vibun Rajakuman will travel in the royal motor vehicle, in the accompanying vehicle, following the funeral procession. At around 4:30 p.m. approximately, the royal vehicle conveying the royal remains will arrive at the Grand Palace, entering through the Viset Chaisi Gate and Piman Chaisi Gate. The royal vehicle conveying the royal remains will stop on the left side of Prom Sopa Gate. The physicians and nurses who attended to the medical treatment will convey the royal remains from the royal vehicle into Piman Rataya Throne Hall. The royal motor vehicle will stop at the Crystal Wall Gate of Dusit Mahaprasad Throne Hall beside Rajakaranyasabha Hall. The Guard of Honor will present arms in salute. The military band will perform the royal anthem. And Their Majesties the King and Queen would then be accompanied by members of the royal family and proceed following the royal remains into Piman Rataya Throne Hall. Their Royal Highnesses and members of the royal family awaiting Their Majesty's arrival are Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Her Royal Highness Princess Chulalongkorn กรมพระศรีสว่างควัตรท่านผู้หญิงอุบลรัตนราชกัญญาสิริวัฒนาพันนวดี Her Royal Highness Princess อธิตยาธรกิติคุณ and ท่านผู้หญิงสิริกิติยาเจนเซน When the royal remains have been conveyed into Piman Rajaya Throne Hall and brought to the royal bathing platform, the physicians and nurses will place the royal remains upon the platform prepared with a royal mattress. Then the royal procession, the royal procedure of the royal ablution ceremony for the royal remains will take place. Today, the Thai people and countless friends around the world mourn the passing of Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha, a beloved princess whose life was defined by duty, intellect, compassion, and unwavering service to humanity. Born into Thailand's royal family, Her Royal Highness devoted her life not to privilege, but to purpose. Gifted with remarkable intellect and an extraordinary sense of responsibility, she pursued excellence in education, earning advanced legal degrees and dedicating herself to the pursuit of justice. Yet what distinguished her most was not merely her academic achievement or professional accomplishment, but her profound belief in the dignity and worth of every human being. As a legal scholar, prosecutor, diplomat, and humanitarian, Her Royal Highness demonstrated that the law is not only an instrument of order, but also a vehicle for compassion. She championed the rights of the vulnerable, advocated for women and children, and worked tirelessly to improve the lives of those often forgotten by society. Through the Kamlang Chai project, she brought hope to inmates, opportunities to former offenders, and dignity to those seeking a second chance in life. Her vision extended beyond punishment to rehabilitation, beyond judgment to understanding, and beyond despair to hope. On the international stage, Her Royal Highness earned the admiration and respect of the global community. Her contribution to the development of the Bangkok rules transformed the way the world views women in the criminal justice system and remains one of Thailand's most significant contributions to international human rights. Through her work with the United Nations and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, Her Royal Highness brought honor to Thailand and demonstrated how compassion and justice can work hand in hand. Her Royal Highness also devoted herself to public welfare and disaster relief through the Friends in Need of PAR Volunteers Foundation. Whenever floods, hardship, or crises affected the people, she was there, not only as a patron, but as a leader whose concern for human suffering was genuine and deeply felt. Behind every initiative was a sincere desire to ease burdens, restore hope, and help communities rebuild their lives with dignity. Those who encountered Her Royal Highness often spoke not only of her intelligence and capability, but also of her warmth, humility, and kindness. She possessed the rare ability to make people feel seen, heard, and valued. Whether addressing world leaders or speaking with ordinary citizens, she treated every person with respect and humanity. Today, as we bid farewell, we remember not only a princess, but a remarkable woman whose life embodied service above self. Her legacy is found in the lives she touched, the institutions she strengthened, the opportunities she created, and the hope she inspired. The impact of her work will continue to be felt for generations to come. Though Her Royal Highness has departed from the earthly realm, her example endures. Her compassion remains a light for those who seek justice. Her courage remains an inspiration for those who face adversity. Her dedication remains a model for all who aspire to serve others. With deepest reverence, gratitude, and sorrow, we honor the memory of Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati กรมหลวงราชสารินีสุริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา May Her Royal Highness rest in eternal peace. May her noble spirit dwell in everlasting splendor, and may her legacy forever remain in the hearts of the Thai people and all who were touched by her grace. Her Royal Highness served as a bridge of goodwill, connecting Thailand with the international community, and was a leader in promoting the rule of law, justice, and human rights, particularly for vulnerable groups. She graduated in law from the Faculty of Law, Thammasat University, between 1997 and 2001. She pursued both master's and doctoral degrees in law at Cornell University, USA. In 2001, she visited the Central Women's Correctional Institution, which marked the beginning of her concern for the welfare of female inmates. A major inspiration came from the teaching of her royal grandfather, His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej the Great, who taught that the people are of utmost importance, especially vulnerable groups, women and children. As for the roles and major contributions on the international stage, in 2005 she undertook training in multilateral diplomacy at the permanent mission of Thailand to the United Nations in New York. She participated in the 60th session of the United Nations General Assembly, working in the third committee involving social, humanitarian and cultural affairs, including human rights and refugees, and the sixth committee involving legal affairs. In 2008, Her Royal Highness was appointed Goodwill Ambassador of the United Nations Development Fund for Women, or UNIFEM, to promote efforts to combat violence against women. She initiated the Enhancing Lives of Female Inmates Project, or ELFI. Later became Kamlang Chai Project under Royal Initiative, which became the foundation for the development of the Bangkok Rules. In 2010, the Bangkok Rules, an international standard specifically addressing the treatment of women prisoners, were adopted by the United Nations General Assembly. In 2012, she was appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Thailand to Vienna and Permanent Representative of Thailand to the United Nations and other international organizations in Vienna. She served as chairperson of the 21st session of the Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice, or CCPCJ. Throughout her one-year term as chairperson, she attended every meeting without absence. In 2013, Her Royal Highness supported the organization of the international conference, the Bangkok Dialogue on the Rule of Law. And in 2017, she was appointed Goodwill Ambassador of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, or UNODC, on the Rule of Law and Criminal Justice for Southeast Asia. With regards to her personal qualities and diplomatic characteristics, Her Royal Highness was compassionate, approachable, and unassuming, maintaining a warm and friendly relationship with government officials, members of the diplomatic corps, and Thai citizens alike. She devoted herself wholeheartedly, applying her experience and knowledge to achieve tangible results, both internationally through the Bangkok Rules and nationally through the Kamlangchai project. She possessed exceptional ability in managing meetings, building consensus, and strategic planning, earning admiration and respect from representatives of member states around the world. She paid close attention to safeguarding the interests of Thai nationals overseas, personally attending mobile consular services in remote areas to assist Thai citizens. Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati, กรมหลวงราชสารินีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา was a significant force and an inspiration in promoting Thailand's international relations and positive image on the global stage. Through her diplomatic ability, gracious conduct, and compassion, she became a princess diplomat who brought pride to the Thai people and led Thailand onto the world stage with dignity. You're watching the live telecast by the Television of Thailand of the ceremony to convey the royal remains of Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati, กรมหลวงราชสารินีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา from Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, the Thai Red Cross Society, to the Grand Palace, to be followed by the royal ablution ceremony for the royal remains at the Piman Rathiya Throne Hall, and the royal merit-making ceremony on the first day following the passing of Her Royal Highness, to be held at the Piman Rathiya Throne Hall within the grounds of the Grand Palace, Bangkok. Everybody are now getting ready in their position for the commencement of the royal funeral procession. Early on, Their Majesties the King and Queen, accompanied by Her Royal Highness Princess Siriwanwari Narirat Rajaganya, His Royal Highness Prince Tipankon Rasmi Chod Mahawachi Rotamangkul Siriwibun Rajakuman, have arrived at the Pumisari Mangalanuson building, King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital. And now the leading vehicle is moving up from the tunnel under the building. This is the vehicle leading the royal vehicle, which will be conveying the royal remains. The royal motorcade of Their Majesties the King and Queen has now moved from the tunnel under the building. This is the leading part of the royal funeral procession. This is the royal motorcade of Their Majesties the King and Queen, followed by the royal vehicles of members of the royal family. The Bureau of the Royal Household has scheduled the transfer of the royal remains of Her Royal Highness from Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital to Piman Rathiya Throne Hall in the Grand Palace. see the royal vehicle with the license plate 1-0929 bearing the royal remains of Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha the motorcade are now leaving the area of Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital en route to the Grand Palace. The funeral procession will depart from Gate 15 of Chulalongkorn Hospital and will then proceed along Ongri Dunong Road. Members of the public are waiting along the line to bid farewell to the royal remains of Her Royal Highness. Her Royal Highness has departed, never to return, and left the land beloved by her heart. The people grieve with tears and sorrow deep, for from their lives a radiant light has passed. She once bestowed protection on her people with boundless grace and steadfast charity. Now she is gone from earthly path and duties, yet lives forever in the nation's memory. O precious jewel of the royal house, Princess Bajrakitiyabha, fine bright, may angels guide your journey to the heavens and keep you in their everlasting light. May your Royal Highness rest in peace eternal, above, within the splendor of the skies. Your noble deeds and loving kindness shining shall live within the hearts of Thai people for all time. As for the departure point, having turned left onto Ongri Dunong Road, the motorcade will turn right onto Rama 4 Road, that to be followed by the right turn at Samyang intersection onto Payathai Road. Turning left at Payathai intersection onto Siyutiya Road, passing the King Rama IX Memorial Park, passing Wat Benjamabapit, Dusit Wanaram, Rajawara Vihan, and left onto Rajadamnern Nok Avenue, continuing along Rajadamnern Klang Avenue and Rajadamnern Nai Avenue, and right onto Naparam Road. Then the motorcade will turn left through Visechai Sea Gate, arriving at the Piman Ratiya Throne Hall in the Grand Palace. So members of the public and motorists are advised to avoid the designated route and plan their travel in advance to help facilitate traffic management and minimize disruptions. The public is also encouraged to follow traffic updates, announcements, and advisories issued by the Metropolitan Police Bureau. There are some individuals whose influence cannot be measured by the positions they held, the honors they received, or the titles by which they were known. Their true greatness is found in the lives they changed, the hope they inspired, and the compassion they shared with others. Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati กรมหลวงราชสารินีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา for such a person. Throughout her life, Her Royal Highness chose to stand beside those whom many seldom noticed, the vulnerable, the disadvantaged, the forgotten, and those struggling to find their place in society. She saw beyond circumstances and recognized the humanity within every individual. Where others saw mistakes, she saw potential. Where others saw despair, she saw the possibility of renewal. Where others saw barriers, she saw pathways to opportunity. Her Royal Highness possessed a rare combination of intellectual brilliance and genuine compassion. She understood that lasting change requires both wisdom and action. Whether working in the fields of law, justice, diplomacy, public welfare, or humanitarian service, she approached every responsibility with dedication, humility, and unwavering commitment to the common good. Many will remember her as a distinguished legal scholar, an accomplished diplomat, and a respected representative of Thailand on the international stage. Yet perhaps her most enduring legacy lies in her ability to touch human lives at a personal level. She listened to people, she understood their struggles, she encouraged them to believe in themselves when hope seemed distant. Through countless initiatives and charitable endeavors, Her Royal Highness devoted herself to helping people rebuild their lives, regain their dignity, and rediscover their sense of purpose. Her work was guided not by obligation, but by sincere concern for the well-being of others. It was this compassion that earned her the affection, respect, and gratitude of people from all walks of life. Today, as we mourn her passing, we also celebrate a life of extraordinary meaning. We remember a princess who led with kindness, served with integrity, and gave without seeking recognition. We remember a woman whose strength was matched by her gentleness and whose wisdom was illuminated by her humanity. Although Her Royal Highness is no longer with us, the values she embodied remain. Every act of compassion, every effort to uphold justice, every opportunity given to someone in need carries forward the spirit of her work. In this way, her legacy continues not only in institutions and initiatives, but in the hearts and lives of those she inspired. With profound gratitude and deepest respect, we honor the memory of Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati กรมหลวงราชสารนีสุพัฒน์วชิรราชธิดา Her Royal Highness was born on the 7th of December 1978. The eldest child of His Majesty King Maha Chulalongkorn พระวชิรเกล้าเจ้าอยู่หัว and was born to Her Royal Highness Princess สมสวลีกรมหมื่นสุทธนารีนาถ Her Royal Highness is gracious in conduct, steadfast in her dedication to learning, and has performed numerous royal duties for the benefit and well-being of the people and the nation. Her Royal Highness received her kindergarten, primary and lower secondary education at Rajini School and completed her upper secondary education at Chitlada School. She subsequently earned a bachelor's degree in law from Thammasat University and later obtained both master's and doctoral degrees in law from Cornell University, USA. At the same time, she pursued legal studies at the Institution of Legal Education of the Thai Bar under the royal patronage. Following the completion of her studies, Her Royal Highness entered government service in the Office of the Attorney General as a public prosecutor trainee and performed duties relating to criminal cases and the administration of justice. Her Royal Highness placed great importance on justice in all dimensions, particularly the protection and improvement of the quality of life of vulnerable groups, including women, prisoners, and juveniles. This commitment led to the establishment of the Kamlangjai Project, which aims to improve the quality of life of inmates and promote opportunities for their dignified reintegration into society. In recognition of her work in the fields of justice, human rights, and the promotion of the role of women, Her Royal Highness received awards and recognition both nationally and internationally, including the Model of Recognition Award and the Unifame Award of Excellence. Her Royal Highness played an important role on the international stage, particularly within the framework of cooperation with the United Nations and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, or UNODC. Her Royal Highness played a significant role in promoting the Bangkok Rules, an international standard concerning the treatment of women prisoners and non-custodial measures for women offenders. The rules were adopted by the United Nations in 2010 and represent an important achievement that brought recognition and pride to Thailand at the international level. In addition, Her Royal Highness served as Ambassador of Thailand to the Republic of Austria and carried out royal duties as a Goodwill Ambassador of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, or UNODC, reflecting her capabilities in diplomacy and international cooperation. With regard to the military service, Her Royal Highness has played an important role in military affairs. She undertook military education and training and has continuously performed duties in the field of national security, demonstrating diligence and determination in serving the interests of the nation. During the reign of His Majesty the King, the Royal Command was issued, transferring Her Royal Highness to military service as a military officer of the Royal Household. She subsequently received successive military promotions. At present, Her Royal Highness holds the ranks of General, Admiral, and Air Chief Marshal, the highest military ranks in the Royal Thai Armed Forces. Her Royal Highness was further graciously promoted in rank and position to serve in the Royal Household as Deputy Commander of the Royal Security Command, Special General level position. Her military duties reflect her diligence, discipline, strength, and dedication in the performance of duty, qualities that are desirable in a leader. Her Royal Highness also serves as an exemplary role model for Thai women in contributing to national security responsibilities and in dedicating themselves to the public good with loyalty and responsibility to the nation. She is also very well known for her public welfare activities. Her Royal Highness serves as chairperson of the Friends in Need of PAR Volunteers Foundation, Thai Red Cross Society, which carries out systematic and comprehensive disaster relief operations. In addition, Her Royal Highness established the Kamlangjai Project under her initiative to improve the quality of life of inmates, promote women's rights, and support the sustainable reintegration of reform individuals into society. The biography and royal duties of Her Royal Highness stand as an example of the application of knowledge, capability, and compassion in relieving suffering, promoting well-being, and contributing immeasurably to the nation and its people. The motorcade conveying the royal remains of Her Royal Highness has now entered Siyitiya Road after turning left at the Payathai intersection. Soon you'll be passing the King Rama IX Memorial Park, passing the Wat Penchama Bopit Dusit Wanaram Rajawara Vihan, where the motorcade will turn onto Rajadamnern North Avenue, continuing along Rajadamnern Klang Avenue and Rajadamnern Nai Avenue, and then turning right onto Naparan Road and turning left through the Visit Changsi Gate of the Grand Palace. The Friends in Need of Power Volunteers Foundation, Thai Red Cross Society, aspires to serve as a center of excellence in flood relief and management in the social and humanitarian dimensions. The foundation emphasizes close coordination with partner organizations and networks possessing expertise in their respective fields. Friends in Need of Power Volunteers Foundation, Thai Red Cross Society, as I have mentioned, emphasizes close coordination with partner organizations and networks possessing expertise in their respective fields with the objective of integrating efforts in a comprehensive and collaborative manner. Its work encompasses prevention with the aim of minimizing losses and maximizing the effectiveness of measures designed to prevent or reduce impact of flooding, relief to assist affected communities in overcoming periods of hardship and distress, and rehabilitation to enable those impacted by floods to restore their livelihoods and return to normal life in a sustainable manner. To achieve these objectives, it is essential to collect and analyze social data and integrate such information in order to view and understand problems from a holistic perspective. Working towards common goals through coordinated action, the Foundation seeks to contribute to sustainable development and long-term resilience within society. Friends in Need of Power Volunteers Foundation, Thai Red Cross Society, is a non-profit charitable organization established under the initiative of Royal Highness Princess Sonsapali Prabhu Sultanarina, who serves as President for Life, Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati Prabhu Rajasarini Suripat Vajrakitiyabha serves as the chairperson of the foundation. Just a moment ago, the Royal Motorcade has traveled past the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The foundation was established with the objective of supporting and connecting the public sector, private sector, and local communities so that they may work together in providing mutual assistance during times of hardship caused by floods and other severe disasters. These activities include the mobilization of knowledge, innovation, manpower, financial resources, and public spirit in order to provide comprehensive assistance and rehabilitation, as well as to promote sustainable livelihood, development, and improvement in quality of life. In addition, the foundation encourages those who are less affected by hardship to assist those who are more severely affected, and those who are stronger to help those who are weaker. Particular emphasis is placed on sustaining lives and restoring emotional and psychological well-being. The foundation carries out its work in accordance with the guiding principles of sharing, sufficiency, and sustainability. The motorcade is now reaching the King Rama IX Memorial Park. The officers are now paying their salutation. Many qualities that define Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha. Perhaps one of the most touching was her profound compassion for animals. Her kindness was not limited by status, circumstance, or even species. It's extended to all living beings, reflecting a belief that compassion is one of humanity's highest virtues. Through her whole life, Her Royal Highness demonstrated a deep concern for the welfare of animals, particularly those that depended upon human care and protection. She understood that the way a society treats its animals reflects the values of that society itself. For Her Royal Highness, kindness towards animals was not merely an act of affection, it was an expression of responsibility, empathy, and respect for life. Many people came to know of her love for dogs through the activities she supported and through her close involvement with animal welfare initiatives. Her Royal Highness recognized that companion animals bring comfort, loyalty, and unconditional love to human lives. She encouraged responsible pet ownership and supported efforts to improve the care and well-being of animals, especially those that had been abandoned, neglected, or left without protection. Her concern also extended beyond companion animals. Her Royal Highness appreciated the important place of elephants in Thailand's history, culture, and national identity. She understood the need to protect these magnificent animals and to ensure that they were treated with dignity and care. Her compassion embraced both domestic animals and wildlife, reflecting a broader commitment to harmony between human beings and the natural world. What made Her Royal Highness' love for animals especially meaningful was that it arose from the same compassion that guided all her work, whether helping vulnerable people, supporting disaster victims, advocating for justice, or caring for animals. The underlying principle remained the same. Every living being deserves kindness, respect, and protection from unnecessary suffering. Those who observe her interactions with animals often remark upon her genuine affection and gentle nature. Animals seem to respond instinctively to her warmth, just as people did. In a world that can sometimes overlook the vulnerable, Her Royal Highness reminded us that compassion should extend to those who cannot speak for themselves. Today, as we reflect upon her remarkable life, we remember not only a princess who served her nation with distinction, but also a woman whose heart was large enough to embrace all creatures. Her example teaches us that true nobility is measured not by power or position, but by kindness, towards others, especially those who depend upon our care. The legacy of Her Royal Highness lives on in the countless lives she touched, human and animal alike. Every act of kindness towards a pet, every effort to protect an elephant, every gesture of care towards a vulnerable creature carries forward the spirit of compassion that she so beautifully embodied. With deepest gratitude and reverence, we honor the memory of Her Royal Highness, Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati. May Her Royal Highness rest in eternal peace. The officers, civil servants are lining along the route, paying respect, salutation to the royal remains of Her Royal Highness. The destination is the Grand Palace, the first royal residence in Bangkok, constructed during the reign of His Majesty King Puttayodfa Chulalongkorn the Great in 1782. The cause for its construction arose from His Majesty's observation that Thonburi had an unsuitable geographical location, for the river ran through the middle of the city. A city of such character could easily be invaded by enemies. Another reason was that the royal palace in Thonburi was flanked on two sides by temples, namely Wat Jang and Wat Thai Talat, which prevented expansion of the royal palace to be as grand as the royal palace of the Ayutthaya period. His Majesty King Puttayodfa Chulalongkorn the Great therefore graciously commanded the relocation of the capital city from Thonburi, situated on the west bank of the Chao Phraya River, to the east bank. The area had previously been the residence of Chinese inhabitants. His Majesty graciously ordered the relocation of those Chinese residents to a new area between Klong Wat Samploom and Klong Wat Sampeng, which is the present-day Yawarat. Chief supervisors of the construction of the Grand Palace were appointed, and on the 13th of June, BE 2325 at 6:24 hours, an auspicious time, King Rama I, proceeded by royal barge procession from the Palace of Thonburi across Chao Phraya River to the Grand Palace in celebration of the newly constructed royal residence. So the Grand Palace is divided into three sections: the outer court, the middle court, and the inner court. In a moment, we shall see the full view of the Grand Palace. You're watching the live telecast by the Television Pool of Thailand of the ceremony to convey the royal remains of Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati กรมหลวงราชสารินีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา from Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, the Thai Red Cross Society, to Piman Rataya Throne Hall within the ground of the Grand Palace Bangkok. There, the royal ablution ceremony for the royal remains will take place at Piman Rataya Throne Hall, to be followed by the royal merit-making ceremony on the first day following the passing of Her Royal Highness. There will be royal merit-making ceremony conducted daily from now on. So let me just recap on the event that will take place once the motorcade arrive at the Grand Palace. It will enter through the Viset Chaisi Gate and Piman Chaisi Gate. The royal vehicle conveying the royal remains will stop on the left side of Kromso Park Gate. The physicians and nurses who attended to the medical treatment will convey the royal remains from the royal vehicle into Piman Rathiya Throne Hall. The royal motorcade of Their Majesties the King and Queen and members of the royal family will stop at the Crystal Ball Gate of the Dusit Mahaprasad Throne Hall beside Rajakaranya Sabha Hall. The Guard of Honors will present arms in salute and the military band will perform the royal anthem. Their Majesties the King and Queen, accompanied by members of the royal family, will proceed following the royal remains into Piman Rathiya Throne Hall. Their Royal Highnesses and members of the royal family awaiting Their Majesties' arrival are Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Her Royal Highness Princess Chulalongkorn กรมพระศรีสว่างควัตรท่านผู้หญิงอุบลรัตนราชกัญญาสิริวัฒนาพันวดี Her Royal Highness Princess อธิตยาธรกิติคุณ and ท่านผู้หญิงสริกิติยาเจนเซน When the royal remains have been conveyed into Piman Rathiya Throne Hall and brought to the royal bathing platform, the physicians and nurses will place the royal remains upon the platform, prepared with a royal mattress. His Majesty the King will graciously command Her Royal Highness Princess Sri Vanwari Narirat Rajaganya to present the silk and gold brocade cloth or prapusa tarakam, which is a type of royal brocade woven predominantly with silk threads and gold tinsel to cover the royal remains. His Majesty the King will then light incense sticks and candles in the Thong Noi ceremony set for the royal remains and pay homage to the Buddha image representing the day of birth of Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati. His Majesty the King will graciously command the members of the royal family to perform the bathing rite at the ceremony tray connected by the sacred thread extending from the hand of the royal remains. Her Majesty the Queen will receive a bottle of scented water from officials of the inner court administration and the inner court of the Grand Palace and will pour the water at the ceremonial tray connected by the sacred thread extending from the hand of the royal remains. Officials of the inner court administration will remove the silk and gold brocade cloth or prapusa tarakam covering the royal remains, and officials of the royal ceremonies department will remove the bathing tray for the royal remains. His Majesty the King will then receive a gold vessel decorated with lotus petal motifs containing bathing water, a crystal container containing turmeric water, and a crystal container containing scented water from officials of the inner court administration. His Majesty will pour the water upon the chest of the royal remains. Her Royal Highness Princess Sri Vanwari Narirat Rajaganya will comb the hair of the royal remains once upward, once downward, and once upward again. Then will break the comb and place it upon a tray held by an attending official. At that moment, conch shells, curved trumpets, western trumpets, victory drums, and the beat-part ensemble are sounded. The Guard of Honor for the royal remains will pay its respects. The military band will perform the Mahachai March. Civil household officials will bring the coffin and place it beside the southern side of the platform. The physicians and nurses will transfer the royal remains into the coffin. This completed, His Majesty the King will place a gold enameled container holding a lotus bath together with incense sticks and candles upon the chest of the royal remains. The civil household officials will close the lid of the coffin. And then following that procedure, the royal ablution ceremony, Their Majesties the King and Queen and members of the royal family will stand before the royal seat outside the screen. The King's royal bodyguard officers will convey the coffin to be placed upon the Wanfa pedestal behind the Suwan Benjadon pedestal supporting the great golden urn in Piman Rathiya Throne Hall. After that, there will be the royal merit-making ceremony for the royal remains of Her Royal Highness. So you have been watching the live telecast of the ceremonies to convey the royal remains of Her Royal Highness Princess Bajrakitiyabha Narendiradebyavati กรมหลวงราชสารณีสิริพัฒน์มหาวชิรราชธิดา from Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital to Thai Red Cross Society to the Grand Palace. The destination will be the Piman Rathiya Throne Hall within the grounds of the Grand Palace. This will bring us to the completion of the first part of this live telecast by the Television Pool of Thailand. We'll return a bit later on for the royal merit-making ceremony for the royal remains of Her Royal Highness. So please stay tuned for the second part of this live telecast from Bangkok, Thailand. Thank you very much.
พาเอกเยี่ยมศิลป์คุณอารยาสุวิเศษศักดิ์คุณวีรศักดิ์ขอบเขตและดิฉันสายสวรรค์ขยันยิ่งพร้อมด้วยร้อยเอกนายแพทย์ยงยุทธมยลาภผู้บรรยายภาพภาษาอังกฤษขอลาท่านผู้ชมไปก่อนนะคะแล้วกลับมาพบกันอีกในช่วงของการถ่ายทอดสดช่วงการพระราชพิธีทรงบำเพ็ญพระราชกุศลพระราชทานพระศพในเวลาต่อไปค่ะสวัสดีค่ะสวัสดี